Where are we? We were falling.
If this is the afterlife, the Chantry owes me an apology. This looks nothing like the Maker's bosom.
No. This is the Fade. The Inquisitor opened a rift. We came through. And survived. I never thought I would ever find myself here physically. Look. The Black City. Almost close enough to touch.
This must be very exciting for you, Solus. Any advice you have on what exactly is going on would be wonderful.
Cole, how does it feel to be back home?
I can't be here. Not like this. Not like me.
It's all right. We'll make it right.
This place is wrong. I made myself forget when I made myself real. But I know it wasn't like this.
It's not how I remember the Fade, either. Perhaps it's because we're here, physically, instead of just dreaming. The stories say you walked out of the Fade at Haven. Was it like this?
I don't remember what it was like the last time I was here. Right now, I'm more concerned with getting out safely.
That huge demon was right on the other side of that rift Eramond was using. And there could be others.
In our world, the rift the demons came through was nearby, in the main hall. Can we escape the same way?
Let's find out. There, let's go.
This is fascinating. It is not the area I would have chosen, of course. But to physically walk within the Fade.
Concentrate on the task at hand, Mage. There is nothing more dangerous than this place.
Thank you for the warning.
Solus, you're the expert on this place. Anything helpful?
The Fade is shaped by intent and emotion. Remain focused, and it will lead you where you wish to go. The demon that controls this area is extremely powerful. Some variety of fear, I would guess. I suggest you remain wary of its manipulations, and prepare for what is certain to be a fascinating experience.
By the Maker. Could that be?
I greet you, Warden. And you, Champion.
Divine Justinia. Most holy.
Cassandra.
Cassandra, you knew the Divine. Is this really her?
I don't know. It is said the souls of the dead pass through the Fade and sometimes linger, but we know the spirits lie. Be wary, Inquisitor.
I fear the Divine is indeed dead. It is likely we face a spirit, or a demon.
You think my survival impossible, yet here you stand alive in the Fade yourselves. In truth, proving my existence either way would require time we do not have.
Really? How hard is it to answer one question? I'm a human, and you are...
I am here to help you. You do not remember what happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, Inquisitor.
The real Divine would have no way of knowing that I'd been made Inquisitor.
I know, because I have examined memories like yours, stolen by the demon that serves Corypheus. It is the nightmare you forget upon waking. It feeds off memories of fear and darkness, growing fat upon the terror. The false calling that terrified the Wardens into making such grave mistakes? It's work.
I would gladly avenge the insult this nightmare dealt my brethren.
You will have your chance, brave Warden. This place of darkness is its lair.
Corypheus seems to have a lot of demons at his disposal. How does he command so many?
I know not how he commands his army of demons. His power may come from the Blight itself, but the nightmare serves willingly. For Corypheus has brought much terror to this world. He was one of the Magisters who unleashed the first Blight upon the world, was he not? Every child's cry as the Archdemon circles. Every dwarf's whimper in the deep roads. The nightmare has fed well.
How do we hurt it?
That's a little optimistic, isn't it?
You hurt it by escaping the Fade and leading your people against Corypheus.
That wasn't what I meant.
I know. But for now, it is the best answer I can give you. When you entered the Fade at Heaven, the demon took a part of you. Before you do anything else, you must recover it. These are your memories, Inquisitor. Why are you doing this? You, of all people.
Keep the sacrifice still.
Someone, help me!
What's going on here?
So, your mark did not come from Andraste. It came from the orb Corypheus used in his ritual.
Corypheus intended to rip open the veil, use the anchor to enter the Fade, and throw open the doors of the Black City. Not for the old gods, but for himself. When you disrupted his plan, the orb bestowed the anchor upon you instead.
That's it?
Yes.
That tells me nothing. Not about Corypheus or a weakness for the demon, or even a way out of here. All it tells me is that I should break his damned orb next time it starts glowing.
Yet, even that information may one day help you. You cannot escape the lair of the nightmare until you regain all that it took from you. You have recovered some of yourself, but now it knows you are here. You must make haste. I will prepare the way ahead.
Something troubles you, Hawk.
I wondered if you might be concerned about the Grey Wardens holding the Divine in that vision. Their actions led to her death.
I assumed he had taken their minds, as you have seen him do before. Come, we can argue after we escape this dark place.
Oh, I intend to.
Could that truly have been the most holy?
Or, if it is a spirit that identifies so strongly with Justinia, that it believes it is her, how can we say it is not?
She seems interested in helping us.
I'm less concerned with her than I am with the nightmare she mentioned.
It's nothing like me. I make people forget to help them. It eats their fears. I don't know if I could do that, but I don't. I don't want to. That's not me.
Peace, Cole. None of us mistake you for the nightmare. It is a fear demon, as I suspected, likely drawing on terrors related to the Blight. Fear is a very old, very strong feeling. It predates love, pride, compassion, every emotion, save perhaps desire. Be wary. The Nightmare will do anything in its power to weaken our resolve.
After what it did to my fellow wardens, I pray we find some way to strike it down.
We have a visitor. Some foolish little boy comes to steal the fear I kindly lifted from his shoulders. You should have thanked me and left your fear where it lay, forgotten. You think the pain will make you stronger. What fool filled your mind with such drivel? The only one who grows stronger from your fears is me. But you are a guest here in my home, so by all means let me return what you have forgotten. Your Inquisitor is a fraud, Cassandra. Yet more evidence there is no Maker, that all your faith has been for naught.
Die in the void, demon.
Dirth Ma Herelan. Mabanal Inasali. Marsolas Ina Martin.
Bonal Nadas.
Perhaps I should be afraid, facing the most powerful members of the Inquisition. Are you afraid, Cole? I can help you forget, just like you help other people. We're so very much alike, you and I.
No.
You must know what really happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes.
As must you. The answer lies in your memories, lost to the Nightmare when you last walked the Fade.
Or you could just tell me.
Will you trust my words? Trust what you have seen.
So all of this is just a dream? Part of the Fade?
It is not just a dream. The minds of mankind are made real here. Their hopes, their loves, and their fears. What changes their world also changes this one. And yours are footsteps that move mountains in both. Tread carefully, Inquisitor. This ground is more treacherous than you know.
What can you tell me about this mark on my hand?
You already know how the mark came to be upon your hand. As for what it is the needle that pulls the thread, as well as the key.
I don't understand.
It is the needle that passes through the veil, as little else can. You are the thread, and it is the key that locks or unlocks the door to the Fade. It lets you walk in the Fade physically, and survive. Without it, Corypheus must find another way to the Black City. It is part of you now, and cannot be removed without your death.
I'd like to know more about the Nightmare.
It is not simply fear. It is the terror you cannot remember, the horror your mind erases to protect you. When old memories no longer make the veteran soldier's hand tremble, it is because the Nightmare has taken them. Most people avoid their fears. It is simple for the demon to steal the darkest fragments. They forget, and it feeds. Corypheus has helped it grow monstrous.
It makes people forget the worst parts of their fears. It almost sounds like the Nightmare is helping people.
Perhaps it was, once. But now, it helps none but Corypheus. By his hand, it creates more fear and grows even stronger. In any case, robbing people of their fears is never a kindness. At best, it is a mistake born of compassion. Without fear and pain and failure, we cannot learn. We cannot grow, as you cannot grow until you recover all that was taken from you.
So, can you tell me what you are?
I told you. I am helping you.
Yes, but are you her? Or some kind of Fade remnant of her? Or a spirit imitating her?
Our world is never that simple. What if the answer is none of those things? Or all of them? I am what the Maker made me. The question is, are you what the Maker made you, Inquisitor?
If I was chosen, I just don't understand why. Why me? Why this?
You are not the first to ask such questions. Did Andraste not question when the Maker charged her with an impossible task? Did she not feel unworthy? Her questions didn't lessen her heroism.
So now I'm a hero.
Not yet. Perhaps not ever. The choice will be yours.
You still haven't answered my question. What are you?
I am what you see. All other answers rest in you.
Tell me why you're here. Why take part in this?
After heaven, I hid here. I watched quietly, learned what I could, and searched for some way to help. And then you came.
I don't know what that means.
Corypheus and a nightmare do an injustice to the world. You must stop them. Perhaps you were meant to stop them. Perhaps that is why I am here.
We should keep moving. Breach back in Haven. That's how I escaped.
The demon!
Keep running!
Ah!
It was you. They thought it was Andraste sending me from the Fade. It was the Divine behind me. And then you... she died.
Yes.
So this creature is simply a spirit.
You don't say.
I am sorry if I disappoint you.
Are you... her? Did you linger here to help me instead of passing on?
If that is the story you wish to tell, it is not a bad one.
What we do know is that the mortal divine perished at the temple, thanks to the Grey Wardens.
As I said, the Grey Wardens responsible for that crime were under the control of Corypheus. We can discuss this further once we return to Adamant.
Assuming that the Wardens and their demon army didn't destroy the Inquisition while we were gone.
How dare you judge us? You tore Kirkwall apart and started the Mage Rebellion.
To protect innocent mages, not madmen drunk on blood magic. But you'd ignore that, because you can't imagine a world without the Wardens, even if that's what we need.
Agreed. The Wardens may once have served a greater good, but they are far too dangerous now.
The blood sings softly, it never stops, and then it's all they hear. We can't let them hurt more people.
The Wardens are a risk. Send them away before they cause even more trouble.
This debate can wait until we're out of danger.
Inquisitor.
The nightmare has found us.
Form up! I'm with you.
Make it take you!
Come, real or not, the Divine is the key to escaping from the Fade.
Did you think you mattered, Hawk? Did you think anything you ever did mattered? You couldn't even save your city. How could you expect to strike down a god? Isabella is going to die, just like your family and everyone you ever cared about.
Well, that's gonna go tiresome quickly.
Warden Stroud, how must it feel to devote your whole life to the Wardens, only to watch them fall? Or worse, to know that you were responsible for their destruction. When the next blight comes, will they curse your name?
With the Maker's blessing, we will end this wretched beast.
Do you think you can fight me? I am your every fear come to life. I am the veiled hand of Corypheus himself. The demon army you fear, I command it. They are bound all through me.
Ah, so if we banish you, we banish the demons. Thank you. Every fear come to life. If you would, please tell Liliana. I am sorry. I failed you too.
You will die in agony!
For victory!
You are nothing!
We need to clear a path! Go! I'll cover you.
No, you were right. The Grey Wardens caused this. A warden must...
A warden must help them rebuild. That's your job. Corypheus is mine.
Stroud. Inquisitor, it has been an honor. For the Wardens!
Without the nightmare to control them, the mages are free, and Corypheus loses his demon army. Though as far as they're all concerned, the Inquisitor broke the spell with the blessing of Maker.
They need something to believe in.
I suppose escaping by the skin of your teeth isn't as good for morale.
Inquisitor, the Archdemon flew off as soon as you disappeared. The Venatori Magister is unconscious but alive. Cullen thought you might wish to deal with him yourself. As for the Wardens, those who weren't corrupted helped us fight the demons. We stand ready to help make up for Clarel's tragic mistake. Where is Stroud?
Warden Stroud died, striking a blow against the servant of the Blight. We will honor his sacrifice, and remember how he exemplified the ideals of the Grey Wardens, even as Corypheus and his servants tried to destroy you all from within.
Inquisitor, we have no one left of any significant rank. What do we do now?
You stay and do whatever you can to help. Stroud died for the ideals of the Wardens. In war, victory. And we are still at war. Do you believe the Wardens can still help?
I do, your worship.
You're still vulnerable to Corypheus, and possibly his Venatori. But there are plenty of demons that need killing.
After all that, you give them yet another chance?
But they hurt people.
While they do that, I'll inform the Wardens at Weishaupt what's happened. Best they not get caught off guard.
Thank you, your worship. We will not fail you.
Good luck with your Inquisition. Try not to start an exalted march on anything. And take care of Varric for me.
Hawk sent me one final report. He's on his way to Weishaupt. As for the Grey Wardens, they are fighting demons and Red Templars while staying clear of Venatori. You dealt Corypheus a significant blow, Inquisitor.
The Grey Wardens carry respect in other nations. If we spread the word that the Inquisition has their support...
We may gain standing with nations that have suffered under the Blight. I will take the matter to Josephine. You took an army from Corypheus, but that will matter little if Orlais falls into chaos. All arrangements have been made for the ball in Halam Shiral. Let us know when you are ready to proceed.
Remind me what we know about the plot against Selene.
The Venatori are planning some kind of attack on the Imperial Court. Corypheus may even be fueling the conflict between the Empress and her cousin, Grand Duke Gaspard. If we warn Selene, she may prove a most valuable ally against Corypheus.
I'll go as soon as I am able.
Good. Cullen, Josephine, and I will discuss the best way to gain an audience with the Empress. Speak with us when you are ready. What was she like? Divine Justinia, or her soul, or the spirit that took her form. I read your report. I know it isn't clear, but...
She seemed calm, serene even, and she guided us the whole way through.
That does sound like her.
She did ask me to tell you something, though. She said, "I'm sorry. I failed you too."
Oh. I should finish this before it slips my mind. Perhaps later we might discuss the matter further. Thank you.
Adamant's influence continues, your worship. I submit Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium, who remains loyal to Corypheus. We found him alive, offering extreme resistance, likely because the Order will ask for his head. In more colorful terms. To say nothing of justice you might personally require for what was suffered in the Fade.
Countless better men and women than you are dead. Why shouldn't this be quick?
I recognize none of this proceeding. You have no authority to judge me.
On the contrary, many officials have communicated that they will defer to the Inquisitor on this matter.
Because they fear. Not just Corypheus, but Tevinter, rightful ruler of every piece of ground you trod in your pathetic life. I serve a living god. Bring down your blades and free me from the physical. Glory awaits me.
Although willing, there's a group you have wronged more than any. Lord Livius Aramund of Varantium. The Wardens can have you. Let them take your head if they want it.
Their petty justice or yours, it matters not. Truth lies in the next world.
Writing does not come naturally to me, as I'm certain you can imagine.
Trying to outdo Varric's next literary masterpiece?
I haven't his talent for blather. As if written by a dim-witted child. Historians will one day ask what happened at Adamant Fortress, in the Fade. I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. It must be recorded.
Fair enough. Just be careful what you write.
Do not be concerned. I am a poor writer, but not unaware of the weight my words might carry. I still don't know what to say about the spirit of the Divine. I saw her there, heard her voice, yet I cannot claim with certainty it was really her. The Chantry teaches us that the souls of the dead pass through the Fade, so it could have been her, yet even so...
Do you really think it might have been her? A ghost?
A ghost. A remnant of her hopes and memories. Her lingering will to do good. Those things are all possible. Nobody knows for certain what happens after we die. A spirit could have assumed her form, but why? It helped you, as Justinia herself would have.
Perhaps it doesn't matter what she really was then.
It matters to me, to what I must write. I must interpret what I saw, yet I am no priest, no philosopher. I am a warrior.
I believe it was the Divine. She helped us one last time.
I hope that's true. I want to believe it. When I realized we were physically in the Fade, I was terrified, almost beyond reason. The last time such a thing happened, we created Darkspawn. We created Corypheus. The world needs to know the truth this time. No more legends lost to the ages.
I knew Stroud, you know, not well. He saved Hawke's little brother from the Blight. Not many people knew who he was, but the man was a hero when it mattered. He wasn't the first good man to fall to Corypheus. He won't be the last. This story's no good for heroes.
We're taking down Corypheus before he takes any more lives.
You know, sometimes when you say shit like that, I almost start to believe it. Oh, Hawke asked me to tell everyone back in Kirkwall where he's going. Baker's breath. Isabella's going to be furious. I'd better write some letters. Excuse me.
You have remarkably little here on early Tevinter history. All these gifts to the Inquisition, and the best they can do is the Malefica Imperio. Trite propaganda. But if you want 20 volumes on where the Divine Galatea took a shit on Sunday, this is evidently the place to find it.
I see. My library isn't up to your exacting standards.
It's alarmingly chaotic. I found a copy of the Oribalian in what seemed to be the Antiban Classics section.
How scandalous. Someone alert the Magisterium.
You laugh, but in some places there are punishments for that. Did I see something by Genitivi here? I could have sworn.
What is this about, Dorian?
When everyone returned, they told us about your tumble into the Abyssal Rift. You went into the Fade. Physically went in. Are you... all right?
I learned a surprising amount. What happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, for one.
Regained your memories. That's good, then.
I think so.
You do realize this feat hasn't been performed in over 1,000 years. Corypheus and his contemporaries entered the Fade and began the Blights. In comparison.
You're right. I was fortunate.
Indeed. Although there is cause for concern. If you can walk in the Fade, others will try to follow. Who knows what secrets Corypheus has revealed? Not all of them will be as lucky as you. What they could unleash. My advice? Keep this quiet. Let them speculate. Too many will see this as a challenge.
You don't number among them?
It's tempting, but I'm no fool. There are enough idiots in the world who think if they just use enough blood magic, their problems will vanish. It's exactly the sort of thing I want to stop back home. This I don't need. What I do need is a copy of the Liberalum. I'll wager I can find Corypheus's real name. If I can prove he was a grasping ankle-biter with no family to speak of, the luster would come right off. Wish me luck.
You walked physically through the Fade. Please tell me what you remember.
I had visions. Echoes of what happened to me the first time. The Divine was there, or something like her.
Manifestations of your own mind, perhaps? Or external memories awakened by your presence? I suppose there's no way to tell. No one else has physically entered the Fade since the Magisters assaulted the Golden City. Oh, I'm positively envious right now.
I wanted to ask you about the Circle of Magi.
Of course. What do you wish to know?
If the Circle disbanded, how can you still belong to it?
The Circle is an idea, my dear. And an idea cannot be dissolved. Many of the first enchanters voted for rebellion, caring little that anything short of a unanimous decision would pit mage against mage. Rather than dissolving it, Grand Enchanter Fiona's vote split the Circle in two. The rebels follow her, the loyalists follow me.
If you lead all the loyalists, why are you only First Enchanter and not Grand Enchanter?
Grand Enchanters are elected, and since there are no First Enchanters besides myself, no vote can be held. I could name myself Grand Enchanter, but the title holds no meaning now. When the circles are restored, that will change.
What was it like to live in a circle?
My dear, your question is the root of all problems with mages. I cannot tell you. Every circle was different. Their Templars were different, their politics unique. And every person within each tower had an experience of circle life unique to themselves. Some people suffered and some were content. Some were cruel, some compassionate, and some indifferent. The same is true of people everywhere, in all circumstances, whether they are mages or not.
So, tell me about your personal experience with the Circle.
I enjoyed life in the Montsimard Circle, my dear. It was an edifice devoted to knowledge and refinement. And mages need the company of other mages. No one else can truly understand the challenges we face, nor see the world as we do.
You must have been under constant supervision being forced by Templars to live in the tower. Was that hard to endure?
My dear, I have a suite in the palace and a wing at my dear Duke Bastien's estate. I've never been forced to live anywhere. Most circles allowed mages to live away from the tower, either on their own or in service to the nobility. All that was required was permission from the First Enchanter. Some circles were harsher in their restrictions. Kirkwall was the worst, but it was the exception. Most were quite permissive. Perhaps too permissive, in retrospect.
How did we come to this state where the Circle's in revolt?
A failure of perspective that infected Circle leadership. Mages lived solely in a world of Templars and mages. They could not even imagine what was beyond the tower walls. Kirkwall gave the world a reason to remember its fear of magic. A mage killed hundreds with a snap of their fingers. Across Thedas, a new tangible fear of magic grew. Commoners and nobles alike called out to the Chantry for protection. But the malcontents in the towers thought nothing of this. They cared only for themselves and for their anger at the new Templar restrictions. When a mage attempted to assassinate Divine Justinia, again, the mages protested the investigation. The leadership chose to vote on independence based on the intolerable conditions imposed by the Templars.
sparing no thought to the fact that magic was more feared in the aftermath of these attacks than it had been since Tevinter's day. So long as they had their freedom, they could care little for riots, angry mobs, or about pitting mages against each other.
Did they have cause to rebel?
In the aftermath of their terrorist attacks, was that really the most opportune time to break away? By all means, protest abuses by the Templars. Just don't do it in a way that says mages support wholesale murder. By voting when they did, my colleagues all but declared war upon the ordinary people of Thedas. A war in which we are outnumbered 100 to 1.
I thought the fighting was only between mages and Templars. Why are mages fighting mages?
The vote for independence was carried by only a small margin, but Fiona chose to let the motion stand. Those who opposed a rash declaration of war against the entire free world had little choice. By breaking from the Chantry when they did, the rebels declared themselves in support of mass murder. Anyone who did not wish to support terrorism and the slaughter of innocents was forced to take arms against the rebels.
Inquisitor, I have been thinking. You remember everything now, yes? The explosion at Haven, the Fade, escaping the breach. In your report, you said Justinia was with you. But only you emerged in the end. Why? Why were you the only survivor?
She knew it was either her or me. And she wanted me to live.
Of course. Of course she did. That's just like her. Her message to me. I failed you too. I'm not sure I understand what that means. Did she say anything else? Anything at all? Please, if you remember.
I'm sorry, Liliana. That was it.
There are no answers in the Fade. Only illusions. A warped mirror. Justinia has never failed me. I was her left hand. Now she's dead. I failed her.
As leader of the Inquisition, there's something I must tell you.
You're being especially serious today.
I know. Lyrium grants Templars our abilities, but it controls us as well. Those cut off suffer. Some go mad, others die. We have secured a reliable source of Lyrium for the Templars here. But I no longer take it.
You stopped?
When I joined the Inquisition. It's been months now.
Why are you doing this?
After what happened in Kirkwall, I couldn't. I will not be bound to the Order, or that life any longer. Whatever the suffering, I accept it. But I would not put the Inquisition at risk. I've asked Cassandra to watch me. If my ability to lead is compromised, I will be relieved from duty.
Are you in pain?
I can endure it.
Thank you for telling me. I respect what you're doing.
Thank you, Inquisitor. The Inquisition's army must always take priority. Should anything happen, I will defer to Cassandra's judgment.
No.
But you like demons!
I enjoy the company of spirits, yes, which is part of why I do not abuse them with bindings.
It isn't abuse if I ask.
Not always true. Also, I do not practice blood magic, which renders this entire conversation academic.
He won't bind me. He's a mage and he likes demons, but he won't help.
Why would you want Solus to bind you?
So I'm safe. If Solus won't do the ritual to bind me, someone else could. Will. Like the Warden mages, and then I'm not me anymore. Walls around what I want. Blocking, bleeding, making me a monster.
A mage using blood magic could conceivably do that to any one of us, human or demon.
You should ask Solus to bind you too, and then someone can bind him.
We'll find a way to keep you safe without binding you, Cole.
I have a suggestion, if Cole is ready to listen. I recall stories of amulets used by Raveni seers to protect spirits they summoned from rival mages. A spirit, wearing an amulet of the Unbound, was immune to blood magic and binding. It should protect Cole as well. The resources of the Inquisition could be used to find such a talisman.
Good. They will not take me.
Heard what went on in that Fade thing? What you think went on? Can't even start to believe that business.
It's hard to describe. Guess you had to be there.
No friggin' thanks. Some people are still there. Stroud, yeah? Lost a serious mustache there. And in trade, a busted down bunch of wardens. And they're always weird. Usually, bad stuff happens first, so you're glad when the hero shows up. But wardens are the wrong way round. They're the good thing that means a bad thing is about to happen. Like in Denerim, when the Blight ended.
A lot happened in Denerim. What did you see?
People talked a lot about this one warden. There was a big fight and they died, or... I don't know, maybe they didn't.
The hero of Ferelden? You forget the hero of Ferelden?
That was ages ago. 10 years. I was playing with small painted boxes and burying stuff I stole. I remember more people cringing about magic than Blight. Wardens were an excuse for your stuff to go missing. Blackwall's nice, though. Different from the adamant ones. Need more like him.
Again. Again.
Come on! This is why the Qun doesn't like women fighting. I should have asked Cullen.
Good one.
Perhaps you can take over.
Qunari training exercise to master your fear. I heard about the nightmare at Adamant. Sounded big.
Can you explain why I'm supposed to hit you with this stick?
Probably, if I try. It'd involve a lot of Qunari words, though. Just hit me with the stick, all right? I need to get over this demon crap.
All right.
There we go. Oh, yeah. Damn demon. Who's stuck in the Fade, huh?
So we're working out your fear with a stick.
Less talking, more hitting. Piece of Fade, piece of crap! And who killed you? That's right, Iron fucking Bull! I needed that. Thanks, boss.
Anytime.
Someone I knew once described Adamant to me. Adamant is, and always will be, the Order, he said. A guardian on the edge of the abyss. The lone soul that stares into oblivion and doesn't waver. That's what Warden Commander Clarel tried to be. Well, they all tried to be. I'm told her wardens never wavered. They went to their deaths willingly. They died for us. And Corypheus twisted their sacrifice to make it his own.
And that's why he has to die.
You'll get no argument from me. There's no one to blame but Corypheus. Even Clarel's intentions were righteous. Her desire to protect was so great it led her astray. It's not right. To want to do good, to be good, and have that turned against you.
Don't think of what went wrong. Think of their intentions, their sacrifice. Honor their selflessness.
Clarel made mistakes, but she was a great woman. And she died a great woman. It's not the armor or the trappings of the Order. It's not the joining. At the heart of it, all a Warden is a promise. To protect others, even at the cost of your own life.
And what else did Lady Forsythia say?
That she'd rather drown herself than help the Inquisition.
Anything else?
She said she'd have us flogged alive if we allied with her brother.
That does sound like her.
Cheer up, Josie. We at least have her attention.
You always do find the brighter side of things. We are in the midst of cementing an alliance with Lady Forsythia of Navarra, your worship. It's become a somewhat delicate task.
Should I post more guards outside your room?
That should be unnecessary, Inquisitor. I dissuaded her from sending soldiers when she learned we'd struck an accord with a brother she's feuding with. Lady Forsythia simply employs a colorful manner of speech.
Dealing with so many demanding, strong-willed people can't be easy.
It's no less intense than my days at court, Inquisitor, I assure you. But I confess I do miss my staff from the embassy in Antiva. It was always useful to discuss the day's visitors with them.
I have time, if you'd like to review things with me.
I wouldn't wish to impose.
If it were imposing, I wouldn't have offered.
Well, I admit there are a few potential alliances it would be good to discuss. Right on the parlor floor, in front of everyone at the soiree. Who does such a thing in front of their guests?
The Duke of Kellington, apparently.
And then there's Cole's lurking. It frightens our guests half to death. Lord Gennard still won't respond to our letters. And Sarah, can she not find a single overshirt with that mustard taint on it? Then there's Dorian. The man refuses to take anything seriously unless it suits its whim. Not to mention... Oh goodness. Have we been here an hour already?
It went by so quickly, I didn't even notice.
You're far too polite. I didn't intend to go on for so long. You must think me quite the gossip.
Spending time with such an engaging woman is never unpleasant, Lady Montilyet.
Goodness. I'm glad I haven't wasted your day. Well, I've taken up quite enough of your time already. Until next time, Your Worship.